All right, what's up, guys? So, for those that are, hey, even if you just want to prepare yourself, I'm doing this video for people dealing with the loss. Overall, whether it's a loss, a friend that passed away, family member that passed away. I never really experienced any, pets passing away, but I imagine that, it's equally depressing as a friend or a family member passing away, especially somebody that you're close with. And so, yeah, in this video, I'm gonna be more so talking on a friend and my grandfather on my dad's side of the family because I had to, out of everybody, I had knew those guys the most. Like, rest in peace to everybody else in my life that has passed away. But like these two, I was close with, so. But anyways, and it's crazy, all within 2 months. Like that's the part that really trips me out. Like it was November and December when I had lost my grandfather and a childhood friend of mine's. So yeah, let's overall talk on my grandfather because it was something that like we seen that it was happening, but at the same time we didn't believe it. A lot of us had just felt like, hey, he's gonna live forever. And I think a lot of people think that you don't see your loved ones passing away, you just don't see it. So anyways, but yeah, there's he was at the hospital. And then just overall like how he was talking, like I there was one thing that I do remember where it just seemed like that he was like, I've I had to say, like, he pretty much was just saying that like I've lived a good life, and it's pretty much my time. And the thing was, it's like it just how he was talking, how he was acting, it never really dawned to me that he was gonna pass away one day. And so I do remember like the last few interactions that I had with my grandfather. One interaction I remember having, this was like prior before he got sick, but it's you just have memories that you carry on. But the one like core memory that I have of him was when, and I'm pretty sure if you guys have been subscribed to my channel for a long time, you most likely remember when I had blonde hair and stuff. So it was like right when I had dyed my hair blonde. And I remember my uncles, because like we all would just meet up at my grandfather's house and we'd just be chilling, watching games, fights, whatever. We just be sitting there as a family just chilling and stuff. So I remember I walk in, and I think he like either I sat next to him or he sat next to me, but I just remember us both sitting side by side with each other. My uncles come in, they're all like, what did you do to your hair, why did you dye your hair blonde, all this. And he pretty much, like, it was like his word was the final say. So like he goes and he's like, hey, I like your hair, I like how it looks, I like that style. And I'm like, and something like that, it just really made me feel accepted. Like, I honestly, I wish he was still here today because, just, I feel like that's somebody where it's like, whether it was content creating or just, whatever, like, he's going to have like some sort, he's going to show support, he's going to show love. And that's somebody that it's like, he's a big inspiration in my life. Like, he was such a positive person. I had to say, there was like one time where it was I'm talking to my dad. My dad was over there, over at his place. And I don't know what he was. I think he might have just been helping him with something. But anyways, I remember because he had this yellow Corvette. And if you guys have like seen me play racing games, and then you're all like, why you always make a Corvette yellow? Because it was with Forza. I think it was CarX. Trying to think of any other games that I've had. Like any game, any racing game that I like playing from here on out, like I'm making sure, if I think even Need for Speed, Heat, always gonna have a yellow Corvette. But anyway, so he had this yellow Corvette, and one of my uncles had allowed their family dog in his car, and got like paw prints all in the seats. And it was a nice Corvette. Like that Corvette, it was golden. I only seen that. And the funny thing is like, I'm trying to think, have I ever seen him drive that Corvette? I think the one time I actually seen that Corvette move was when my uncle, we were all going to a barbecue, and I think it was my uncle that was parking it and stuff. But yeah, it was like, that Corvette, it was beautiful, man. That Corvette was amazing. But anyways, but yeah, overall, like, Corey, like, I think I should just do a video one of these days just honoring him, just going over it, just all this stuff that I can possibly remember, because I just feel like that somebody like him, you cannot forget him. You can't forget how positive he was, and just, how much of a dope person he was and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, overall, he was getting sick, and the sickness was getting worse. And then eventually, I remember, and this was like same year I started working in downtown Seattle. So one night, getting ready to go to sleep, and it was like right when I was getting ready to go to sleep. Like, I put my phone and like on this like chair next to my bed. I just was like just getting ready to just catch some Z's, get ready for the next day. Get a text message from my dad saying pretty much he passed away. And so I just didn't know how to, really respond or react to it. Like, obviously I was sad and depressed, but I was like, I don't I don't know. Like, this is like my first time I really dealt with a death this close to me. Like I've had like other like I remember there was an uncle on my mom's side of the family where he had passed away, and I think I only had met him like one time, but I still remember it like having some sort of effect on me. But it was like with my grandfather, it was just I didn't really know how to respond to it. Like that was something where I'm like, nah, man, like it's you can't really like accept it. It's not. So like the thing is this: if there's anybody in this world that tells you, oh, you just gotta accept the death and move on, no. However you deal with death, it's like, fam, that is how you want to deal with it. Do not let anybody in this world. I ain't never had nobody tell me that, but the people, it's like the thing is there's just people out there that's crazy. So obviously, yeah, it's like they feel like, oh, because they've dealt with enough death, like, oh, everybody should feel the same way they feel. No, it's like however you deal with it is how you deal with it. So, but anyways, so yeah, we were just kind of like, wow. And I remember I still went to work the next day. I still went to work. And I didn't really know how I was gonna react to it, so I was like, I made sure I told my supervisor. I was like, hey, if I'm acting a little bit weird or funny today, grandfather passed away last night, so yeah. And she was like, why are you here? Why are you not back at home? It's like you should be at home. And I'm like, I wanted to come into work. That was the thing. I truly did want to come into work because I didn't want to just sit around and just have it where my mind was just like thinking that nonstop. Like that's the thing about me is that, when I find myself like in a depressing mood, bad mood, whatever, I try to just keep busy. I try to, just work and just kind of try to take my mind off of things. So, yeah, it was something where it was just, that's how I cope with it. Like other people have their different ways of coping with it, but that's just how I cope with it. So then then the funeral, and it was like, I remember my dad, I think he called me and he asked me to be one of the pallbearers. And it's like when they're carrying the casket. I think that's the name. Is that hey, anyways, he wanted me to carry the casket. And so yeah, it was, he asked me, and I'm like, I'm not going to say no to that. I'm all like, bro, it could be just me and you out there. I don't know. I'm not going to say no to that. That's something where I'm like, if there's any way I'm going to honor my grandfather, it's like that has to be it. So anyways, yeah, day of the funeral, I'd seen my sister cry for the, first time in a while. And it was like, that was tough. I remember giving her a hug. And then, my dad and my uncles, of course, they all like sat front row and stuff. And then, then it was just, that was the funeral. Then seeing him, it was like, when you see somebody full of life, and then when you see them in that casket, it is different. Like seeing him in that casket, it was like, the thing was like, I told myself, like, I want to like pat him on his shoulder or something, I couldn't even bring myself to do it. And I was like, it's something that I regret, but at the same time, it was like, I just didn't know how to like react to that. I honestly didn't know how to, because it was weird, man. It was so crazy to just see him like that. So yeah, it was just, seeing him like that. And then eventually, funeral ended. We all went to this different part of, cause it was like so where we had the funeral was at this church that he went to. So we had went to this like other part of the church and, just sat around, caught up with family, friends. had some food, and then yeah, then it was like, I think it was I well no, so we I think what it was is that we ended up carrying his coffin to the Hertz. I look, all right, I'm not trying to be funny. I did not realize how heavy coffins were. Like, I honestly, I was struggling. I was like, bro, this is a lot. Like, so it was me, my uncles, and a family friend. And I remember we were all carrying this, and I'm like, oh my God, bro. We had to go down like this loop of like this ramp, and I'm like, bruh, why is there's not like doors that just go straight out and things? I'm like, why are we going down loops? And I'm like, bruh, no, I don't want loops. It should have just been a straight walkthrough. I'm like, nah, man, this is crazy. I'm like, and then it's like heavy. And this is like, I wasn't really all that athletic. I'm like, maybe just now, I probably could, carry and, add, like, just do my part in things. But yeah, this is like at a time where I wasn't really working out, so yeah, it was tough. It was extremely tough. I was like, oh my God, damn, man, I just, this is a lot. And so, anyways, but yeah, overall, like, once when we did that, and then yeah, we just all kind of just, hung out together as a family. Then I remember we ate food there at the church, and then we ended up going out to a restaurant later on that night, eating there, because my aunts, they flew in to town and stuff. So yeah, we ended up doing that. And then yeah, that was the that was just, it was just crazy. And then next month, New Year's Eve, so I'm trying to think, what was I doing? I can't remember if I had just stopped recording videos, but I remember, so I'm sitting across in my room. I remember exactly, I think, where I was sitting at too. I think I remember I was sitting like right in front of my window, or like, it was just, I was sitting. Remember I was sitting and stuff. And this is like now talking on my childhood friends. So, but yeah, anyways, New Year's Eve, pull my phone out, go on social media. All of a sudden I'm seeing, such and such pulled through. It's like, man, like, why it had to be him, all this other extra stuff. And then it changed from that to rest in peace. And I'm like, wait a minute, time out. What is going on? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Rest in peace. I'm like, no, not him. No, there's no way possible, cuz like, I've invited him over to my house. Like, he had spent the night. We had like a full blown, I remember, cuz me and him, we used to really be into wrestling. We had a full blown wrestling match in our backyard. Like, he taught me how to put people in a figure four leg lock. He did backflips off my fence. Like, bro, man, I'm telling you, if I could have a WrestleMania moment with any of my friends, it would have been him. Like, he was one of the most athletic people that I've ever met. Like, he could knock out a backflip like it was nothing. But anyways, but yeah, like, people just started saying rest in peace, to him, and I'm like, that, no, bro. I'm like, there's no way possible. There is no way possible. So anyways, so yeah, then I just kind of start messaging around, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? So I guess he was at a party, and then he noticed some people in there was like, taking things and stuff, so he confronted them. And I guess it was like either, I think it was five. I just remember it was a group of people. And so I guess, like, once when he approached them, then they got into a fight, and he was like handling, from what I've heard, and it seems like him. I'm like, I can't think of any other way it could have happened, but he was fighting all of them. And I guess, yeah, he was putting up, because he was a fighter. He knew how to fight. Like, bro, I remember when, like, I think it was either right when we got in, no, it might not have been right when we got in, I think it was our sophomore year in high school. And I remember this video was just going around of him on social media. I remember because he had like this long straightened out hair, and he, he was like quiet. He didn't really, wasn't like that social and stuff. I just remember like him, like, he was social with like people that he knew. He was cool with people that he knew. But other than that, like, he was quiet. And I just remember, I think it was that sophomore year, he shaved his head bald. and there's this guy that was messing with his brother. He legit had him like in this hole. So he had like his head between his legs, and he had his arm, and he's just hammering at his head, just going to town on him. And I'm like, hey yo, he doesn't play around. Like he does not care about fighting people bigger than him. Even I remember in middle school, there's these like two kids that were like, they were visibly bigger than him and stuff. And he did not care. He was starting fights with them, and I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you are wild. But anyway, so it doesn't surprise me that he was fighting those guys. And then at some point in time, somebody pulled out a gun and yeah, shot him. And then, I guess like he tried to put on like the the best fight that he could, but I guess yeah, the injuries, they were just too severe, and yeah, he ended up passing. And so my mom knew who he was too. It's like, obviously, he spent the night and things. And so, because he was one of the only like friends, I had to say, that spent the night here. It was like, other than that, like me, I was the one that was spending the night. But yeah, no, he was he was he was the one and only friend that spent the night over at my house. And so yeah, after I saw that, I kind of just sat there and accepted it. And the thing is this, like, New Year's Eve is like, that's my holiday. Like, I love New Year's Eve. I love sitting around, with my family, just, watching like people across the world celebrating New Year's, hearing fireworks, just sitting there, just, just being with my family. Like, I love New Year's Eve still to this day. But then it's like a part of me, it's like, just knowing what also happened on this day, it's like I'm not like as excited as I used to be with New Year's Eve, because it was like, that was like my top holiday. And so I remember going and telling my mom, and then she started reacting to it crazy and stuff. And then yeah, I just remember I was just sitting in her room and was like, I remember because it was me, my mom, and my sister. I think my dad might have been somewhere else in the house, but anyways, I just remember my sister, she was doing anything possible to like get me to laugh. And then I think, like, I don't know, like, I think I just went like temporarily insane, because I think I heard something on TV, or my mom or sister might crack the joke, and I just started cracking up laughing. But that was the thing. I was like, I was going through so many emotions, I didn't know how to react to that. So like, that's one thing about death. You ain't gonna have like a way to, like, you think like, okay, you're gonna do this, but then like when you actually deal with it, then it's like, it's just gonna be a completely different story. And so yeah, I didn't know how to I didn't know how to react to that either. And I was like, man. And then it just like, just it was, yeah, it was crazy. It was something where it was like, I just, especially in a in 2 months, and then like a few months later, my grandfather on my mom's side of the family passed away. So then we ended up having to go over, to all the way down south and go to his funeral and stuff. And then what else? I mean, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then like, seeing like other friends, they overall getting killed and things. And then yeah, it was just, it was a lot, man. I was like, it was just from 2016, 2018. Yeah, it's just, I can think of some deaths where I'm like, especially, it was like, then yeah, I remember when XXX Tentacion, when he passed away, and I was like, even though I didn't really know him, I still listen to his music every day. And so it was like seeing that, and I was like, I remember that day I almost shed a tear, because I was like, it's just sad. You see a person so young lose their life over something stupid. So it's crazy, man. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Life is crazy. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's just how you overall like deal with it. That's how you deal with it. Like I was saying earlier, it's like, don't allow nobody to tell you how to deal with a death. Is how you deal with, whether it's a celebrity, a friend, family, pet. Especially because I feel like, with a friend or a family, people may not overall say anything crazy. But I feel like with a celebrity or a pet, I feel like there's people out there that'll be all like, well, it's just a pet. You could go out and get you another dog. You could go out and get you another. Or it's like, if it's a celebrity, it's like, you didn't even know them. Why are you crying? Why are you? And yeah, it's like, there's people out there that'll say some old dumb stuff like that. And it's like, however you deal with that death, it's like, fam, that is how you deal with it, okay? I ain't like, the thing is this, people that truly understand how you feel, it will not judge you. But a person that doesn't understand how you feel, obviously they're gonna say some judging stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, rest in peace to all my loved ones, friends, family, celebrities. There were some pets I remember having years back. I just I don't know their current state, but if they are no longer here with us, rest in peace to them too. Rest in peace to just anybody that and even to those that are watching. It's like rest in peace to your loved ones and stuff. It's like just may they just overall like bless our lives, be the guardian angels in our lives and stuff and so on. So. But anyways, yeah, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.